Okay, Dixon, the next step is really impressing with your pitch. You really don't want to do just a standard pitch.
No, if you
want
just
to customize.
if you just send out your brochure, so to speak, then you're not really pitching at all, are you? They've already looked at your website, and I think that's different to, 10, 20 years ago when, you could then just send out your brochure. But people have already done that. They've already screened you. You've now screened them. Now you need to give them something of value. That pitch itself needs to demonstrate value. Even if you don't get the business out the far end, you're going to need to demonstrate that you're 10 steps ahead of anybody else looking at your website.
Right, okay, so it's worth investing in this because it adds to your power and adds to the attractiveness, perhaps, of your pitch, if you're telling them something that they don't know.
Yes, absolutely. And also, and so it starts with setting up a campaign. So Majestic has this campaigns section on the website, and the great thing about doing that is it sets a benchmark up for your website. So you set up a campaign of your customer that you're looking for and their sort of competitor cohort. So 4 or 5 competitor websites put their home pages into a campaign, and you can see everything side by side. That immediately gives you some great visuals. You've got some fantastic live shots of real numbers that you can then put into a pitch instantly. The other reason for setting up a campaign from day one, even before you've got the client, it's not expensive money-wise to set up lots and lots and lots of campaigns. But the other good reason is that from a campaign, you can instantly jump into all the other tools later on. Having that campaign set up frames it. If you're an agency, then you know where to go to see all the information that you've been working on for a particular client. It's looking at their own individual ecosystem or their own marketing environment, very specific and very tailored to them. And I think that is a really important thing to take on board.
And one of the things I wouldn't forget about there is just to set up an email alert, even at this pitch, this pitch stage. Setting up an email alert is a useful thing to do.
So you can then, from the campaigns, it can then say, right, tell me when things change on the sites, and it starts sending you emails so that you don't get caught out,
Something tremendous has happened.
Between sending off the pitch and going down to do the presentation, something has happened. You want to know about that for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I think great visuals, link alerts, having a cohort of your competitors there shows the customer straight away that you understand the environment, but also gives them some very real data on which to understand the job that they've got at hand. If they've got their homepage sitting at TrustFlow 10 and their competitors' homepages or target pages or landing pages are sitting at TrustFlow 72, there's a disconnect that you're not going to be able to overcome. So you need to compete with cohorts that are competable, if you like. And one of the things actually there is I like to work with homepage metrics as opposed to whole domain metrics.
Why is that, Dixon?
Here's the thing. The way that the algorithms work at Google, PageRank was always done at the page level. And so whilst you default to, looking at all the links to a domain and all the wrapped up trust flow of a domain, the truth of the matter is that Google says your homepage is probably the best page on your website, and each individual page on your website is a page on the internet. When Google's search results come back, they don't give you websites, they give you individual pages. It may be a homepage, it may not be a homepage, but they give you individual pages. So if you're trying to do search engine optimization, it's an important thing to understand that Google is returning pages, not sites. So if you want to get an idea of a customer's brand, then you're actually better off looking at the home page, the URL level metric of the home page, because all of the other pages that a site has, will link into the homepage. So it will be the strongest page on the website. Also, your other brand presence, you might have, blogs out on medium.com, or you might have links from your Twitter profile, or you may have other parts of your brand that aren't on your website, but probably linked to your website. So it's still a good place to be as a way to look at the overall score, trust flow or citation flow, the overall score of your brand. But also you're then comparing a page with other competitors' pages. So you're comparing like with like. If you put in the domain level metrics into your campaign, the problem there is that you might be at yoursite.com. One competitor may be at www.theirsite.com, and then Amazon is so big that you then find yourself, if you're trying to do like having to put Amazon.com's homepage in there, whereas you want to be looking at a product page or a category page or something very, very specific. So looking at page versus page is important. And then we can talk about how you find that cohort. One way to find that cohort is to put in your key term and see what are the 10 most important pages that come up on Google, for example. That could be your cohort, but it's also likely that who your business competitors are. It's your business, or your client knows their business, and you should ask them who they think their competitors are and track down their sites and their homepages and put those into the system.
Yes, but don't just take their word as gospel.
No, take one or two others that they didn't know were competitors or they didn't describe to you, because it may be that their whole cohort is getting wiped out.
And one of the things we're talking about here is working at scale, which also means being incredibly time efficient. So I think getting into a process, a way of doing every pitch is important.
And if you've got, job number one, get that campaign set up. And then from there on in, going to the campaign, almost 2 clicks away are all of the important visuals. Majestic has some great visuals if you know where to look, and they're tailored to your business, but they're 1 click away then. So if you want to compare the market, and I don't mean in a meerkat kind of sense for the Brits amongst us, if you want to have a look at the cohort, then literally from the campaign you can go into all of the main tools, the Click Hunter tool, the bulk backlink checker tool, the URL submitter tool, the backlink history tools. They're all a click away once you're in the campaign and you know what you're doing. And from there you can really have a checklist and say, right, let's check this. Is this important? Should we bring this to client? Should we bring it into the pitch? And because you're then comparing your business with the other business in the cohort, it becomes very obvious the kind of work that is going to need to be done. And it also shows the client that you've got information at your fingertips that they can't get.
I think that's really important. The information is at your fingertips, and if you follow this method, you're setting yourself up for success.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you've got that benchmark now because you've set your campaign up to demonstrate success at some point in the future when you've got the business and started working on it and improved their lot.
Terrific. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. And remember, you can check out our plans and pricing at majestic.com. And if you want to be among the first to see our new material, you know what you got to do. Hit the subscribe button. See you next time.